Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Lois, and welcome back to Super Hostile Modded Dalania. In the last episode, we got the yellow wool. This one is just decorative, but it is the yellow wool. One, two, three, four, fifth wool. So we got the yellow wool. We defeated the Tomb of the Sun, which is right there, that pixel in this desert. So I basically just went over here and went back to the tower, teleported, and went across our bridge at night, which was terrifying. And yeah, we have some stuff to do at the base before we head out for another adventure. And while I'm tempted to head here, there is a cave right here. This is where we died and lost like all of our stuff. So I'm a little apprehensive about that. But we have a bunch of things to do. So first of all, I want to combine this epic bow that we found that has Unbreaking 3, Infinity, Power 4, Flame with our bow. It would put Flame and Infinity on it, but it would reduce the Unbreaking. What if we do it the other way? Power 5. I kind of don't want, like, I don't know that I want the flame. However, I did notice this might be a little bit cheaper. So this area, for the record, you can, in the claim chunks, you can load an area. So our base has been loaded the entire time we've been playing, and we've gotten some books from our fishing. In fact, this is full. I'm going to take that book out. And this one is full. So we've gotten a lot of books, and the one, if you notice, the first one I took has Infinity on it. So let's see if we can't put Infinity on our bow. And that's going to do a couple of things for us. So bow with Infinity. So Unbreaking 4. So we currently have Power 5, Unbreaking 4, Soulbinding 3. Yeah, that would be perfect. Let's do that. 4 levels. And now we don't need these arrows. We can just... Okay, we need one of the arrows. I really dislike that that is not in this mod pack. There is a mod that, so we only have one arrow, but we have infinity arrows. It's fine. There's a mod that fixes that. Personal gripe. A little bit of an aside. Vanilla Minecraft, the Infinity enchantment is not good. It is not how it should be. You should not need to have any arrows in your inventory. If you can't pick up these arrows, you shouldn't have to have one arrow in your inventory in order to use it. It should just be from nothing, basically, because that's what it is. Anyways, that is my gripe, and I think that's a pretty common gripe people have. However, okay, let's get back to things that I want to do, because we're going to do a couple things, and then I'm going to cut away while I decide where I want to go. So we're going to make some large packs. So these things are better than the medium packs. So the medium packs look like this. It's a chest's worth. The large packs is an extra row. And that is what we are going to be carrying around to store items as we collect loot. Because I want to try to get this kind of a lot nicer looking and not nearly as much stuff. The local legends is also something that we're going to look into, and I might also head to some of these other towns. So Genton over here, and I believe that is New Axor, something like that. I'm gonna head to some of those towns and see if there's any bars that we can get more rumors from, and yeah, that should help. But we have some soul sand. We can start growing netherwort. However, we need to get some netherwort jam at some point, and it would be nice, or ink brush. You know, we might have ink brush seeds. I don't know if we have those yet. If we did, they'd be over here. We need to get upgrades. I'd like to get more upgrades. Don't see any. Okay, so I might spend some time off camera doing some grinding, farm stuff, try to get some more crops and whatnot. But let's go ahead and open up So we have, let's get a chest, just so we can put things to work on. We'll use the random loot chest. Why not? And I'm going to put that stuff in there. I'm going to look through the book, make sure there's nothing else that it's going to talk about. But we have a bunch of loot chests. And we also have a quest that we completed. So we did novice hunting, so normal vanilla mobs. We can get some experience, a loot list 1, some iron tokens. And then we can just go ahead and turn in the iron tokens for more infernal tier. So we have a loot list 1, but we have 6 infernal tier 1s, which is a bunch of stuff. We got some buff elixirs. Alright, let's go ahead and use this. So we got an enchanted book, some experience. Let's go ahead and do loot list 1. A dispenser, that's boring. I want to see protection 2 book, that's kind of whatever. The crystallized experience is kind of good. But let's go ahead and pop these 6 infernal tier 3s. Just going to give us a lot of good stuff at some point. So let's get rid of some of this stuff. We don't really need most of these things. And I mean, there was a berry bush. Wild berry bushes are not the best. I mean, we can get, you know, we can use wild berries. They're red dye. We can also turn them into juice, which we can then turn into wine. But I don't really care about that stuff too much. Random gem, let's see what that is. A diamond, that's nice. I use some of our diamonds to repair our gear. Buff elixirs, bunch of elixirs. And then 5 spawner loots, which mostly just gives us a loot list 1 and a loot list 2. So let's open these. Ring of Fiery Touch. I'm interested in what that does. We also have, you know, sea serpent scales, lapis, astral diamonds, amethyst, a bunch of stuff. We have a lot of stuff that's pretty good. A forgotten relic. So we got the ring. So what does the ring do? Hitting a creature with a fire wand sets it on fire. Well, we don't use wands, so not particularly useful right now. And yeah, I need to have a better way of storing all of our books. Something I was looking at was the bookshelves from Wizardry, Electroblobs. This stuff is kind of expensive though. It requires grand crystals, which are annoying to get. You can bone meal grass to get the crystals, flowers, but yeah, I don't know if that's something I want to do per se. So there is questions of what we want to do. So let's go ahead and sleep. And I'm going to take you guys with me. We're going to go north for a little bit. The reason being is there's all of the ruined towns. We saw these before. So there's all these ruined towns. And I want to go see if there's any netherrack. We need netherrack. Also, we can improve... Let's improve mining. Why not? I should also look into making... There is a experience thing. Bookshelf. There is an experience. What was it called? XP? This thing. XP block. That is something that we're going to want to make. So... Emerald and iron bars. We do not have enough iron bars, but we have plenty of iron bars. And we have some emeralds. Let's go ahead and make this thing, because what we can do is place it down and store our levels. That way we can kind of have plenty of levels for enchanting and whatnot. Okay. So there's 2 things I want to bring you guys with me as we do. And I've just got to remember... Let's look at this book for a second. Because I don't remember... wooden sword. So we need a wooden sword. We're going to grab a wooden sword. let's see, where are the wooden swords? Perfect. And is it in the offhand? Let's see. Wooden tool in your offhand at dawn or dusk. Or we can go into town and there is a way we can do it easier. So let's hop onto our horse. And we're gonna go do a little bit of venturing, and then we're going to try to find a new place to a new wool dungeon. We do know where the Grey Wool is. That is the Halls of Iron. I really don't want to take that place on quite yet. The meditation spots. There are meditation spots. Right here is one. On top of the horse, and we're still a fighter 1. Okay. Where'd our horse go? That is a golem. Where did our horse go? I despise these horses. They run so fast away. Let's get that out of our face. Where did our horse go? Man, I wish the horse's AI was a little bit better. It's just gone. So I'm gonna guess that we don't have enough wool to power up yet. Horse. I'll tell you guys what. Is this a tavern? It is. Okay, we're gonna check. Forget about the horse. Bread, water bottle, local legends, Dalan. 5 gold. Okay, so there is a new book. There is 19 pages of this. I am going to read it off camera, but if you want to read it, you can pause the video and you can see all this stuff. So that's telling you about the... Okay. Everfrost ranges. And yeah, so I will read through this, and if there's anything important, I'll let you guys know. But we need to find in all of the main towns the local legends. And I really need to find my horse. So I'm going to tell you guys what. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut here. I am going to head north of town. I'm going to go to the all of the different ruins, and we'll kind of see if there's any netherrack. I need specifically netherrack so that we can grow Lucius spores. These things will grow on netherrack, and we need to get them so that we can start farming them, and by farming them we can then... I don't know where my horse went. We can... Oh, there's my horse. I found it. I'm thirsty. If we can farm them, then we can start working towards really good bundles. The master farming bundle, not fishing, requires a bunch of Lucius spores, so we can start working towards that. And I'm going to do a bunch of farming and try to get more crops. We have what? Okay, don't go anywhere this time. We have what, 30 levels in farming, so I don't think there's much that we can't farm. But since I found my horse, let's go real quick. This episode is going to be kind of de-looting and whatnot. We'll do a little bit of adventuring later. There is some places I want to go to explore, but I'm going to read through the various cities, and I think what I'm going to also do is oh, I know where there's netherrack. We can get netherrack easily. I think what we're going to do as well is we're going to head to all of the different towns, And I'll probably do this off camera because there's not much reason for you guys to kind of see this, per se. But let's see if there's any... I mean, there's spawners and whatnot in here. This area we kind of left because it's hot. That's the main reason. But this we can steal netherrack from blacksmiths. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head back to the base. I'm probably going to go salvage some netherrack from the blacksmiths in Dalan City, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head to all the way over to Jenton off camera. I'm gonna try to find if there is any sort of are you a trap horse? Nope. Okay. I'm gonna try to see if there's any sort of bar, pub, whatever, so we can get some rumors. And I'm gonna do the same thing in the new Axor, however you say that town's name. But once I've done that, I will meet you guys back, and we'll figure out where we're going to go and head that direction. So yeah, we're gonna go. I'm gonna go there and there off camera to see if there's any sort of rumors. So I will bring you guys back in just a little bit. Alright, so I have been busy at work. It's been a little bit longer than I expected. I did not go to any of the other towns. So I said I was going to go to New Ascor or Jenton, but I was curious. I was trying to find the information of the class upgrades with the wool, and when I was looking for that online, I found information that said there's only 3 rumor books, and we have 2 of them. The last one is in Siren Cove, which is down south. We'll get there eventually, but we're going to check out a couple of things here, and we'll talk about that in a second. I have been busy, though. I think what I'm going to end up doing is replacing all of my farms. So I have a sugarcane farm back here now. And this is all on the fertile soil that we've been collecting from getting more seeds and whatnot. And I think I'm going to replace all of these fields with fertile soil, just so I don't have to have water. That is the big kind of advantage with that. I've started planting down tomatoes and chili peppers, and we have all of our other stuff, been getting all of the netherwort. And then here we have the Lucius spores, which I'm going to try to get a fortune, preferably a fortune 3 axe, because that would be nice. And I have a bunch of seeds in my inventory. We'll get to that in a second. So let's just grab an axe and see what kind of enchant we can get on it, because a fortune 3 would be really, really good. So I'll figure out something with that. I will do some of that stuff off camera. It's not really that important, but it will get us more Lucius spores. Now, we need to make a couple things, and the first thing we're going to make is a composter. So we need some fences, and we need some logs, some wood, planks. And I think what we're going to do, we're not going to be going too far today to explore, and I don't think we're going to be finding a any sort of wool dungeon day. And then what's the other thing that I need? Can we make an apiary? This is going to require some planks and some wood. And I could have just, searched oak and found everything. But we're going to make an apiary as well. And this thing is going to house our bee. So I don't remember, I've done this a long time ago, and I don't even remember what mod pack I was playing with that had rustic bees. But we are going to put a bee down. I can't. Never mind. We're going to put this composter down. So I have a little station here. So we have an area to smelt up things. I need to get a lot more charcoal. Call it a task where I just gotta chop down trees for a while. But I have this set up so that we can throw in all of our seeds because all of these seeds can be composted, and we might as well, because I had like 700 wheat seeds. I don't need extra seeds. And so whenever I do some gardening, we now have all of the major 4 bundles kind of taken care of. The only ones we don't have is the mushroom and the meat, because honestly, we don't do anything with those. We don't have an animal farm quite yet. We might eventually, but we don't right now. And so everything we harvest, other than the cocoa beans and the nether wart, can be placed in all of this stuff. And so I have places for everything. And once the chest fills up, I can just, do whatever bundles I want to and call it a day. So that is where we're at with farming. Like I said, I want to replace all of this. I still need to get grapes growing somewhere, and that is a question of I don't know where. Maybe this stuff. Maybe I'm going to rip this stuff out and put grapes here, because grapes are going to take some space because of how they work. They're kind of annoying. And then we're also going to eventually set up probably somewhere over here, maybe right here. We'll set up a grape juice maker. Oop, lag spike. Okay, there we go. So let's go ahead and get on with some adventuring. We're not going to be doing too much today because we don't really have much to do. Let's see, we're going to want that. And I think that's about it. We're going to want a place to put our horse. And we're gonna kind of hang out until it's nighttime. One other thing I need to do is farm these trees, and eventually we might get the. I don't know if there is anything. We'll do some machine stuff. I did get the furnaces. I made 2 furnaces. We need to get stone coal because I would like some yeah, this stuff. The forges. These are a lot better, and get a good, axe. That would be nice. But we'll want to get some generators and tree farms and all that kind of stuff. That is things we'll do later. So speaking of later, let's put those in there. All right, so I'm going to try to explain all this stuff. It's not going to be the best of explanations, and I've started actually marking on my paper map where we need to go. In this book, which is the Dalan area, Dalan City, rumors, talks about a bunch of stuff, and how the Draconic Ossuary, which we know that was the mountains. That was the White Wool Dungeon. We have that. And it tells you about how far it is. It talks about the tower, the Mage Tower at the Spur. The next thing is there is a research building, some sort of research facility in Vayan. And that is that town right there. Now that is a ruin, but if we go north and then that way, we'll get there. Another place that we can go is so Merchants of Lucrehaven. This is talking about the Halls of Iron, which we know where that's at. And then Vampire Clans in Everfrost Ranges. There is a vast frozen dungeon somewhere in the ranges, specifically one of the 3 smaller islands. So on those 3 islands, one of those islands has a frost dungeon. That is going to be a wool. I can almost guarantee that. And it's probably going to be one of the later wools, if I had to guess. So then the only other thing, it talks about Raldsfar, which is the barbarian tribe. We encountered that a while ago, and also how some of the nomadic tribes around there are okay, but for the most part, stay away from Raldsfar. I don't know if that is going to be a wool dungeon or not, but it is definitely something we've known about. And then the Ruins of Stonehew. This talks about flash powder. So I'm not entirely sure what that's going to be about, but that is this place right here. Now there's a few other things. The cyan wool is in this area, and then there is the cave we know about here that we can see on the map. This region, this spire, and then over here. So eventually we'll have to go down, all the way down here is Siren's Cove, and that will probably tell us about this general region. So that is things for another time. So what we're going to do is we are going to head to the research facility. There was one more thing talked about in this book, and I kind of skipped over it. Where was it? There was a research. Okay, some sort of nobles retreat, a league north of Nespa, which is going to be in this mountain range. Now there is a mage tower up there, but that is Nespa, and so it's going to be probably across the bay from there. So we have like 5 or 6 different places that we can potentially go to, and I guess let's just jump on our horse and start working our way over there. So I don't know how much we're gonna actually do, because this episode has been a lot of me talking, but we want to go this general direction, and eventually we'll either hit the coast or we'll hit the city that we're after. And regardless, going this way, we'll be able to pick up some more of the soul sand that's littered around this Deadlands biome, and yeah, hopefully we can find some more netherrack. I don't think we actually need any more netherrack right now, but we definitely just want to go find stuff. I don't know what's going to be at this research facility, if there's going to be a wool here or if it's just going to be a POI. I feel like there was mentions. Actually, I don't. There was mentions in that book as well, and I skipped over it. But it did talk about the one POI that we encountered a while ago. The like fortress thing. All right, so you are a tower, and I don't know that you have anything. Oof, our frame rate is not doing too great. And there is a lag spike. Alright, so the question is, this tower, what are you protecting? Is the town south? Probably not. Alright, you know, here's what we're going to do. Let's hop off the horse so that we can sleep. Can't shift click that. Nope, nope, nope. So that we can sleep. And let's real quick. Alright, doesn't seem to be any mobs in here. Oh, but because the spawner is broken. That was a pig spawner. That happens sometimes. Alright, so broken tower. Still has the bows and the arrows. We don't care about that. Let's just fall down. Let's sleep. And yeah, this tower might have been misplaced. Mistakes can happen. But let's go ahead and grab some more soul sand since we're here. I don't know exactly how much I want, but we'll just grab a little bit. And that should be good. Our frame rate is back. Alright, let's grab our horse and let's head north and see what we can find. So, presumably the town is over here somewhere. Let's go ahead and put the soul sand, 10 soul sand, that should be enough. If I need more, I can always come back up here. Yeah, here we go. So this is going to be the walled city, and this is not the best of terrain generation. Alright, so come over here. There should be a sign. Van. Perfect. Alright, so there should be a research facility here. Looks like this building, because this building does not look like anything else that we've seen. We're going to encounter a bunch of skeletons and whatnot. Spiders. Spiders 1. And we should be able to just break spawners. So this... Here, the Salvage Guild of Dalan mapped the Academy of Van on the third... Okay, this is probably something. There is... Van Academy. Okay. This is 100% something. Is this something we should deal with now? I don't know. Alright. Nope, don't hurt my horse. Alright, let's get the horse out of here. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to explore around this area just a little bit. So first of all, we should put the horse all nice and attached. We're not too far from home, so it's kind of nice. But I still want to go ahead and set our spawn. Spawn point set. Alright, and then we can... might as well grab the glass bottles so that we can have that. Alright, so let's work on getting some of this area cleared out. But I do feel like this is potentially a wool. It does have a survey core attached to it. This is an old forge. Blacksmith, whatever. I don't see any spawners here, though. Most of the stuff is gone, other than some damaged anvils. Grab the netherrack, though. Might as well. It'll come in handy, I'm sure. And I still keep having, like... Okay, I hear a lot of spiders. Ugh. This is not good. And I don't want to do that. Break that. Alright. We're better now. So this is an old market. This is a ruined market. Let's see what kind of spawners are in here. So at least a spider spawner. And, or maybe not a spider spawner, just a spider. Ugh. Yeah, I'm having some frame rate issues, which is weird. Oh, I think I know why. Alright, that's fine. We're not gonna be doing too much here quite yet. Let's go ahead and eat. Get some beverage. I don't have a good way to break spider webs, for the record. Felt like I saw a spawner particle. But apparently I did not. Huh. I wonder if there's... Festive Creeper. I wonder if there is anything in any of the other markets with the attic. Don't know. Anyways, let's see if we can't figure out anything else with this academy. So I don't know. The color scheme could be... Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my frame rate. But the color scheme could be just because of various reasons. I hear... Alright, wizards. Wizards is actually something that's kind of good for us to encounter. But we're going to die if we're not careful. Let's just get rid of these guys from a distance. Yeah, we are a little bit low on health. That is a summoned skeleton? Question marks? A skeleton warrior. Alright, let's pick up whatever we can. And I think what we're going to do is I think we're going to go ahead and call the episode here. So, this is something to explore at the very least. And whether or not it's going to have anything good, I don't know yet. But it doesn't hurt to have a look around. And it's definitely something. It has a POI kind of indicator thing. I don't know if we can use those in single player, but yeah, there is definitely something to look for here, and so that's what we're gonna do. So that is going to be it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know we did a lot of talking. How do we get in there? Spider tubes. Okay. So this is a little bit more difficult of an area. But we'll take a quick peek. And yeah, let's go ahead and I'm gonna end the episode now. So we'll take a quick peek in this area. Will we finish it? I don't know. Honestly, depends on how difficult everything seems to be. But there is a lot of stuff here that we can use. This looks like a standard loot tables. And then yeah, we'll go from there. So there's a few more places that were mentioned in the book that we can look at, and we'll figure out what each of them have and if any of them are worth anything. So we'll come back here next time and explore around here, see what we can find, and go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!